Welcome to tonight's totally over-the-top Battle Royale on healthcare reform. I'm Jake Crapper.
And I'm Dana Trash. Tonight we have two super in-depth experts in the field of healthcare. Bernie Blanders on the side of the Democrats, who is a first-hand witness to the creation of the first vaccine in the history of mankind, the smallpox vaccine in 1797. And Ted Snooze on the side of the Republicans, who regularly administers antidotes to victims of the snake oil that oozes from his skin.
Without further ado, let's welcome Bernie Blanders and Ted Snooze into the ring.
Before we start, I just want to say that this is a ridiculous debate. It's absurd that we're even thinking of having it.
Agreed, it truly will be over the top. Our first question will be to both of you, starting with Mr. Blanders. What makes you a frickin' expert in healthcare anyway?
Life experience, Mr. Crapper. I saw Army medics desperately treat the troops inflicted with Spanish flu in World War I. Witnessed the first smallpox vaccine administered, as you so graciously mentioned during your introduction. Survived the Black Plague while traveling Europe in the 14th century. Traveled on the rat-infested Mediterranean grain ships that carried the plague of Justinian to the Roman Empire. And how could I forget, when I was suave and in my sexual prime, helping that sweet, sweet Virgin Mary with her pregnancy. It was a virgin birth. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
And to you, Mr. Snooze? What makes you a frickin' expert in healthcare? Thank you for the question, Mr. Poopy Pants. I spent many years in a private practice. As a lawyer, though, right? That's right. You wouldn't believe how many people punched me in the balls during that time. I spent more time with ointment for my junk than Pee Wee Herman.
Our next question comes from a member of the audience, some fat lady. This question is for Bernie. I own a small chain of hair salons with just under 50 employees. Your stupid goddamn law makes it so that if I expand any further, I won't make any goddamn money anymore because I'd have to provide them with goddamn insurance. If you're gonna force everyone to buy from the private health insurance oligarchy that probably bribed Congress, why the hell don't you provide assistance to small struggling businesses the same way you do to struggling individuals, you senile old pile of flaming garbage?
Okay. First off, I clearly know nothing about hair salons. Second, you look like a fat, smelly slob, you land whale. And third, you're the most evil witch I've ever met, not wanting to go into massive debt for your employees. It totally makes sense to set a specific limit the way we did. You're a complete dunce if you don't know why we chose 50.
Oh, I'm a dunce, a fat smelly slob, and an evil witch, am I? If you ever come to my hair salon, I'm going to cut off all your stupid white hair and sew your withered old member to your thighs with it. Where did you come up with that number? Did you pull it out of your ass or something?
Of course. Where else would it come from?
Mr. Snooze, your response?
Well, here's the thing. We keep hearing from these three groups. The 29ers, the 49ers, and of course, the 69ers. The 29ers refuse to give their employees any more hours per week. The 49ers refuse to hire any more employees. And the 69ers, well, they're actually the ones who are happy regardless of their health insurance. I have a demonstration ready for the audience. I brought with me a priest and his recently of age altar boy. Let's get this show on the road, shall we? Okay, I think this would be a good time for a commercial break. Have you ever wanted to sniff your own ass? Well, now you can with our patented new ass-sniffing tube. Getting yourself in the proper position to take a good whiff of your ass can really be a challenge. But not with the ass-sniffing tube. Its adjustable tube works for men of all shapes and sizes. It can even be adjusted to let you sniff your own balls if you're some kind of weirdo who's into that sort of thing. Take back control of your life and start sniffing your ass today. Welcome back to our totally over-the-top battle royale between Bernie Blanders and Ted Snooze. Now, one of the biggest differences between our two master debaters on healthcare is the question of whether healthcare should be considered a right. What about that, Mr. Snooze? Let's talk about rights. Rights are things that individuals are free to do without governments stepping in. Just take a look at the rationing that goes on with other countries that have socialized medicine. America has twice the number of X-rays, 250% more MRIs, and let's not forget 3 times the number of mammograms. We need those mammograms. Those mammograms are super important for women's health. Mr. Blanders here wants to move to a system where fewer mammograms will be performed. Just imagine a country with dwindling mammograms. Won't you think of the mammograms, Mr. Blanders?
Now, Ted talks about rationing in other countries. We have enormous rationing here in the United States, except ours isn't a law. It's just based on whether individuals can afford it. Ted is from one of those countries that supposedly has rationing. Canada.
That's right. I was born there. That may be the best argument against your position. Just look at me. I'm the result of Canadian health care.
Yes, that's right. I guess there's always a bad result that can come from an otherwise good idea. And you are it.
And with that, we have to go straight to our final segment, the actual battle royale. Our two master debaters will now duke it out, literally. At the end of the fight, each will get the health care they need from the country of their choice.
Which country do you choose, Mr. Snooze? I will gladly choose right here, the United States. And yourself, Mr. Blanders?
Now, wait a minute, Mr. Crapper. I didn't realize this was going to involve actual violence. Can't we solve this another way?
I have an idea. Maybe we can provide another demonstration of those 69ers. That seems like a totally over-the-top compromise to me.
Wait, what about his poisonous snake oil?
Don't worry, Mr. Blanders. The antidote comes from my saliva.
No.